Then we about to go live.
That's all right. You ain't slow down.
Act like you got them skate. 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 Go live, I'm finna go live. 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 Go live, I'm finna go live.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody in the building, man? Today we back with another great WRE live episode. If you don't know what that means, that stands for Watch, React, Evaluate Live, man. So I got one of the top offensive linemen in the country. We're going to get into it. I don't have to give him a big introduction, but trust me, man, we got a big young man here, man, and he's an interesting cat as well, man. He's got a lot going on, and I want to jump straight into this. So let's do this without any further ado. I'd like to bring him on right now to bring him on and talk to him because we got a lot to do and a little bit of time to do it, man. So big shout out, man, to Addison Nichols. Talk to us, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. So look, I'm loving it right now. You are here. I did your WRE video a while back, and you reached out to me and told me how much you enjoyed it. So I appreciate that, man, as well. But I know you just got out of practice. I know you hit me and say, Coach, I'm running a little late. I got to take a shower out of practice and everything, and that's great. But let's jump into this thing because we don't have a lot of time. And I know you got your homework to do, right? So you got to make sure you get your homework and everything else. But let me jump into this right away, man. A lot of people see football players and we don't really know them, right? Because they're masked, they have the helmet on, they're far away. It's not like basketball, right? Where guys can see the players' faces and everything. So a lot of times we don't really know, especially you guys on the line. We don't really know who you are as people. So my question to you is, who is Addison Nichols?
I say I'm someone that loves the game. I love kind of connecting with my guys. I love the brotherhood. I feel like sidetrack of that is kind of the thing that I love most about football is kind of like the brotherhood. So I kind of say that's kind of me getting to know the guys, helping guys get closer together, kind of creating that chemistry in the team. I play 3 instruments. I'm a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, Eagle Scout. So I kind of on all boards of the spectrum.
Hold on, man. So I knew about the karate. Taekwondo, right?
Yes, sir.
So I knew about that. I know you swing the golf club because in the intro of my video I did on you, I thought it was kind of funny. I said he's got the karate styles of Bruce Lee, something like that. The golf Jack Nicholas, and this guy can get you out of any bad situation with a stick of gum and a pen, man, like MacGyver. I don't know if you know who MacGyver is, but that's old school, man. So now you're telling me you play 3 instruments as well. What instruments are those?
I play the guitar, ukulele, and piano.
So when do you have time for you, man? Like when do you have time to do something for yourself? Like just hang out and chill. What does Addison do just on a chill day?
Lay on the couch and play some video games or sleep. That's all I do right there.
I heard that. Now, is your family like musically inclined, or are they into those same things like you are, and that's kind of how you got exposed to it?
Not really. The whole music thing happened. I was in middle school and I got bored one day, and my mom had left, or she was about to leave and go do some errand or something. And we have a little mini grand piano upstairs, and I was upstairs and I was looking at it like, no, I'm bored. I might as well go try and figure this thing out. And then she was walking out the door and I was like, hey, Mom, what's your favorite song? And she told me some song by Coldplay. I can't remember it. But by the time she got back, I had learned how to play it for her. And then I just kind of figured out more stuff and kind of played through the years and fell in love with it, and then grew out of that and was like, all right, let me try a string-based instrument. Got the guitar. And I was like, oh, ukulele would be cool. And then I got a ukulele. I love the ukulele. That one's fun. It's like super small. It's like super dumb.
I was going to tell you, now you're 6'5", 318. That's according to 247. What is your current weight right now?
But yeah, that's about right. In between 315, 320.
So I say that you're a 6'5" guy over 300 pounds with a ukulele. It's probably about this big, man. How does that work?
I don't know, man, but it's funny. Like, it gets people going just by the fact that it's tiny. That's what gets them intrigued about it.
I love it, man. I love it. So let's get into this part. Let me keep going because we're going to we're doing this interview piece, but we're going to break down this film. I want to get into the mind of the player. What is he thinking on the field? That kind of stuff. We're going to definitely learn more about that. You're currently playing into your senior year. I know you're a big dog on campus and everything else and all of that. But what are some of your goals you have for this season coming up? Your last ride, as they say.
I say the biggest thing for me is really kind of maximizing my potential in high school. You talk to all these college and NFL guys, and they're like, "Oh, high school is the best days. Those are the most fun football days for you." And then they all talk about how if I could go back and play that much harder or play with the knowledge I had now. So that's kind of my mindset, trying to just maximize everything this season. And with me being a captain, I'm trying to put that on the other guys on the team. We're a really young team, and I'm just really excited to kind of help them grow and it kind of teach them what I know and want them to do the same thing. Kind of want them to be able to maximize themselves in high school, because sometimes you see them kind of being like, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do that. It doesn't mean that much, blah, blah, blah. I got 3 more years, blah, blah, blah. So those are kind of my goals for this season right there.
I got you. Now, you're currently at Greater Atlanta Christian School. So I take it that's a private school. Is it pretty small in essence so far student population?
Yes, sir. It's pretty small. I think the whole school's 2,000, like in between 1,000 and 3,000, something like that. Not a lot of kids.
So that's from grade K all the way up, right?
And
or that's high school.
Oh no, that's the whole school. Like we got not even just kindergarten to K to 12. That's like we got early learners, which is basically like babies. So we got baby, infant to 12th grade. We're like a 1A private size, but we play in 3A.
I got you, man. That's pretty cool. That's also interesting, man. Like I say, imagine babies looking up at you like, what in the world is going on around here, man? All right. That make them want to eat their vegetables too, believe it or not. Also, so here's the deal. So now you talked about the things you kind of want to do maybe as a leader and as a captain of this program. What is it that right now, because you were highly recruited, and we're going to get into that in a second, but what are the strengths of your game? Like, what are the things that pop off the film that make you the hot commodity you are on the recruiting trail?
Well, you look at your video, man. I feel finishing is one of my biggest things. Little Timmy, finishing for me. I always like driving guys down the field. I feel like people kind of get caught up in like the whole pancake thing where they'll get a guy on the line and they'll like hip toss him or just throw him down on the ground like a yard or two downfield. It's just that's not good because you clogging up the play. I like to drive them down the field and then put them in the ground. So I feel like that's kind of my specialty, like creating space and then getting my highlight.
I love that, man. And I'm telling you, that's all over your highlights. So guys and ladies, if you have not seen his film, go check it out. After this airs, I will go back in and put a card. It'll pop up in those top corners somewhere of that film. But if you want to just do it, just type in Addison Nichols Hayes and it'll pop right up. You'll see it. I'm telling you, his film is amazing, man. We're not going to go through his entire film, but we're going to go through a couple plays just so you guys can understand them. So now showing your strength, actually planting human beings through the turf, what would be things that you would like to improve on your game? Things that you say, you know what? Or maybe some of your coaches through the recruiting process have said, hey, you thought about working on this or that?
Yeah, I'd probably say using more technique than just kind of brute strength. I feel like I've been pretty good with technique, but kind of preparing myself for college. Some of the stuff I do now won't fly in college. So getting better feet, lower pad level, stuff like that. Those are probably the biggest things for me to improve.
I got you. So let me ask you this. I always ask this, especially to guys who go to high school, maybe at some of the smaller schools. I know you said 3. I'm not sure how far up Georgia goes. Do you think it was an advantage or disadvantage for what you said you need to improve on by maybe playing at that smaller level and maybe not playing some of those bigger guys and maybe quote unquote tougher competition, as they say, which we all know is always going to be competition, but day in and day out?
I feel like it was good for me, honestly, because, well, GAC has always been a huge powerhouse with guys. So I feel like I kind of got that. So we go up to 7A. I feel like I kind of got that 7A feel just by being on a GAC football team, because every year we have unbelievably talented, highly ranked D1 guys like Chris Hinton, Miles Hinton, Che Bryant Strother, all of these big name guys that went to big schools. Going against them every day in practice really set me up like I was playing in 7A football, or better than that. So I feel like that helped me play better in 3A, because I was getting 7A competition in practice and then going and playing in 3A, where you'll kind of on and off see guys like that. So overall, being in, I feel like 3A, it's been good, but it wasn't like crazy.
Gotcha, man. Well, like I said, I always ask that because a lot of times people think when you play at a lower classification that talent may not be as good. And there may be some truth to that week in and week out, but there's still some players. I know down here in Florida, we have a lot of 3A schools that can put a whooping on some 8A school. We go all the way up to 8A here. Now, I know they can put a whooping on some of those 8A schools. So I always like to ask that, because different states, it is different. It is different. Let's switch gears a little bit about the biggest part of this recruiting process, right? In your college recruiting process, when did this thing, first of all, what was your first offer and when? And then the second question is, or the second part to that question is, when did it just catch fire?
First offer was Vanderbilt. It was the January after my freshman season. So it was like a month after season started. It was my first season playing offensive tackle. I'd been a tight end before it, actually, and they came to school, offered me at lunch, and that's really when it kind of caught fire, because I got like 5 or 8 within the next day or two. I went like Vanderbilt, LSU, Duke, USC, just bam, 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 bam. So I feel like those few months right after the season were kind of like really hot, and that's when I kind of got out there.
So that was after your freshman year. So you've been going through this thing since sophomore, junior, now going into your senior year. It's just been nonstop, huh?
I've been doing it for a while.
Have you thought about changing your phone number yet?
Many times. I tried to at one point and it didn't work.
Listen, these coaches spend a lot of money on recruiting, and they got ways to find your number, my brother. I can promise you that. So we're going to definitely get into Tennessee, but I do want to talk about some things. You got to the point where, and I'm just kind of looking at your profile here. I know you dropped a couple of schools and your top schools and so forth. What were your top? You had dropped the top 4, if I'm not mistaken?
Top 3.
Top 3. What were those top 3? I know Tennessee was, of course, one. What were the other 2 schools you had in there?
Ohio State and UNC.
Okay. So Ohio State, which everybody knows in Columbus, and then USC, which is Southern California. I know you took visits to those programs. Being in Atlanta, and we know right now, I guess out of those 3 programs, Ohio State is the hot one right now. What was that experience like going to Ohio State, meeting Coach Ryan Day and the staff and maybe some of the players?
It wasn't US. It was UNC, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Oh, UNC. I apologize. UNC. I'm sorry.
Matt Brown. It was really good. Ohio State was really impressive. Their program's just unbelievable. Ohio State, you look back at their track record in the past 10, 15 years, they're always powerhouse. Coach Day runs a really good program. Coach Stud does a great job at the line. So it was a really good trip, kind of seeing the area. It's cool. It's kind of like Ohio State, and then you go down a little bit, and then you got downtown Columbus. So overall, it was pretty cool. Good visit.
Now, that's good. Now, UNC, I have to say this, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, and UNC whooped us pretty good last year. I don't appreciate it. But now going over to Matt Brown, I have to say that program is up on the rise. Matt Brown was a longtime coach at the University of Texas, took a little bit of time off, became a broadcaster, and jumped back on, got his whistle around his neck. And he's actually turned UNC back into a notable program. What was it about UNC's visit, quote unquote, as they used to call them, the basketball school because of Michael Jordan? What was it that really intrigued you? As I look at your list, you have Florida, Georgia, all these other programs on here. What was it about UNC that really sparked your interest to put them in your top 3?
So I actually didn't want to consider them at all. And ironically, I had taken a visit when I was younger, freshman or something like that, and I had hated it. And but my parents were like, "All right, we want you to take unofficials to UVA and UNC and stuff like that." And I was like, "All right, fine, I'll do it." When I went, I was just blown away. Coach Brown's an unbelievable guy. He's superior in just how he acts and how he is as a person. He is unbelievable guy and coach. But overall, I feel like it was just kind of how they run things there. It's real family like. All the coaches are super close. Like you'll go and they'll have like cookouts at Coach Brown's house, and the wives and the coaches will come, and then the players will come. He just built this new house, and he built half of it just for the players, like a game room, golf simulator, pool, hot tub, all for all the players. And I just liked how his main focus was really kind of the player, not just football, just kind of helping them grow as young men instead of just football players. So I really like that about the program.
That's great. Well, Coach Mack Brown, you probably missed out because you missed one important thing, was a dojo, man. You need a dojo in that thing for the player. You got guys around here. You're a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. Is that correct?
2nd degree.
2nd degree. I don't even know what a 1st degree looks like. I did karate when I was a kid, and I had a little white belt, and I think I earned one little yellow stripe on the end, man, because I did a hi-ya one time, and that was it, man. As far as I got with that thing, man. But that's interesting. Now, let's get to this part, because you talked about those 2 programs. I do want to talk about this because you brought up something kind of before we talked about, and I apologize about the USC. I thought that's what I heard, but UNC. You say you took a visit out to USC. What was it when you went out there? Just tell that story again about being there on campus. What was it like?
USC is beautiful. Like that, by far one of the most beautiful campuses I've ever seen. Way smaller than I thought it would be. Incredibly small. Like the campus itself, it'd probably take you 7 minutes to walk from one end to the other. It's super small. And they just built this new little village thing next to it where the freshman dorms were, and they had like all these stores and restaurants and grocery stores and stuff like that. So overall, the campus and the little village area is super, super cool.
But then you say when you go, it's no what? What were you saying you missed?
You go outside of the oasis, there's no greenery. It's just buildings and industry and highways and road. There's no green. It was like I was in like an urban desert.
And that's important. A lot of people don't realize when they're recruiting, right? Because USC, UCLA, of course, the University of Miami, they are some of the few schools that are in major metropolitan cities. You know what I mean? And a lot of colleges are in college towns. For example, University of Tennessee is in Knoxville. It's a city, right? But it's not a major in the sense of when you think major cities, man. So that's huge. Now let's jump into this, man. Let's jump into these Go Vols right quick, right? I'm seeing in the comment section these GBOs and what is that? Go Big Orange. Is that what it stands for?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've seen a bunch of these GBOs and everything else. What was it about Coach Josh Heupel in Tennessee, especially him just taking over the reins there, versus maybe 2 established programs? What was it that kind of swayed you to say, I'm about to put on this orange and white?
I say probably opportunities and connections, and then on top of that, just the way they run their program. They were really similar with UNC on how they ran their program. It was like really family based. One thing I thought that was really cool was with the previous staff, there was kind of like a chemistry problem with the team, and people weren't close to each other at all. People didn't like each other. And they came in, the first thing they did, they once a week, they had a huge team activity, let that be laser tag in the indoor, paintball, or a cookout in Neyland Stadium, or dodgeball, all this stuff. Every week they'll have some major activity. And I just think that's really cool because I was saying earlier, kind of the brotherhood and chemistry of things is really important to me. And having a coach that really, really wants that in their program is really important to me because that's something that's really important to me. So that was definitely one thing that really caught my eye. And back to the opportunity and connections thing, I feel like Tennessee being where it is in Knoxville, it's one of the largest growing cities in the country. There's a lot of opportunity. I'm going into business, so there's a lot of opportunity in business there. The Haslam School of Business is really good, and kind of the connections that I've made through Tennessee, and the Tennessee fans are unbelievable. All those Tennessee fans, man, the oranges, the GBOs, the carrots, it's great. The fan base is just super supportive and super passionate about the program, which is really cool. So it's just a real collective kind of thing with everything combined together. It's just like I couldn't pass it up.
I know, man. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you've probably been to a couple of games, but I'm not sure how far that is from you. Maybe a couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours, is it, from where you live?
About 3.
Yeah. So I actually had the opportunity to go to a game there, right? Tennessee was playing Alabama, right? And I was up there with some players that were being recruited at the time. And you know how you go through those things. They walk you through the stadium. Man. Everybody's out tailgating. They do the Vol walk, the whole 9 yards. And we go in the stadium. I'm like, man, there's nobody here. I have never seen that much orange move within 15-minute period. Like, I want to say the game was a night game, so the game may have been started at 7:30. It's like 7:10. It seems like nobody's in there. By 7:15, 100,000. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Rocky Top 10. The fireworks going off. Smokey going
right.
He going off. I'm like, this is bananas up in here, man. You know, and that was back when Derek Dooley was wearing the orange pants and all that stuff, man. So I have to say the atmosphere was exciting. They got the Vol Navy in the back with the air horns going off on the little boats and stuff that people own. Great atmosphere, man. So I think you'll love it, man. I really do. Let's pop into this thing. Let me get into the next. You got a couple of people in here. Brent says Knoxville has it all. I believe they do, but I was just saying in the sense of major cities. Of course, it's growing, but yes, we're just talking about major cities. So I'm not putting a knock on Knoxville. I was just talking about major cities. All right. I want to break your film down here. I want to look at it. I want to see if we can go through some of these plays. Let's talk about it. I want to get into the mind of you as a player, what you're thinking. All right. So let me see if I can go ahead and pop this on and let's make this happen. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. So we're looking at this film right now. I'm not sure if you remember these plays or whatever the case may be, but you're playing what right now in high school? Tackle?
Yes, sir. Left tackle.
All right. So he's at left tackle right now. I want to go back in here because I noticed that you passed a guy off. Why did you not block him?
So this was a
right
zone play for us. So in the front they're in, I am responsible for C. So my guard would come. He cuts inside. So my guard would come and take over the B gap player, and I work up to that backer who would be the C filler.
This guy here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, how does that take place? Is that a communication thing? Do you guys rep that? I'm just going to let some of these players we go. Do you guys just rep that, and there's no communication talking? I got to play this one. No communication, or is it communication between you and the guard and how that works?
It's kind of both. There's reps in practice every week. We kind of have our play sheet or our scout team that'll run the plays and we'll rep it. And then there is communication. We have a thing where if it's kind of like a semi-double type deal, I'll be like, hey, me, or if he comes off, it'll be you, stuff like that. So there is communication involved.
Gotcha, man. That's awesome. Here you are at defensive line, right? So this is a great play. How they don't block you, why you're not in the blocking scheme, a 6'5", 300-some plus dude running down the field not being blocked. If I'm number 2, I'm pissed right now. I'm going to the sideline saying, Coach, we got to fix this, man. Check this out. Oh, get some. Planted this dude. I love this effort right here. This is great by you, all right? Great effort. That's perfect, man. Let me see here. Great. This is what you're talking about, finishing plays. Like, come on, bro. Poor little Timmy. He ain't have a chance, man. Has a referee ever said, hey, 7-2, that's too much?
Oh, too many times. I get a lot more than I'd want. I'm like, come on, let us play, man. It's football. Like,
Man, let me live a little bit. Let me get some of this.
Like, come on now.
I love it, man. I want to get to this piece where I want to go through. I'm trying to get the part where we can see some things really good. I like the fact that you, like I said, you finished the plays. I talked about that in your WRE film, where you continue to drive. Technically, you do a great job with your hips and everything. That's what the first thing pops off, and you fire off the ball with low pad level. I thought that was extremely great. Like, see right here, I know right now, you probably can dominate that dude just because of size, right?
Right.
But I have to say, technically, look how you come off. Your pad level is low. You could have probably played that high and caught him in your chest and still won that battle. But this is great right here. And drive. Let me see here.
Yeah, I was mad about this one. They didn't get the whole clip. I drove them like out of the camera down the field. I was like at the 40-yard other opposite 40-yard line before I pancaked them.
What? So now I noticed this. Let's talk about this because blitz pickup is huge, right? Especially with the guys. I know you guys have to talk a little bit, and I don't know if this, and you tell me, Coach, you're talking too much. You're giving our playbook away. I know some coaches trip about that, but are you sliding this protection again? Is this a communication deal with the offensive line? Is the quarterback making these checks? How does that work?
Yeah. So when the center gets up to the line, depending on the play, he'll typically call mics. And we'll slide to whatever mic he calls. So I right here, it looks like the end is head up the inside. So I'm responsible for that C gap, and then my guard will get B. So there is communication. We'll kind of be like, hey, watch down, or watch inside, watch backer, stuff like that. So a lot of communication before the play starts, and then when the play starts, we're like, hey, hey, me, hey, out here, stuff like that. So,
gotcha. Love it. Let's see how you work on this play. Let's see you work him down the field a little bit. And this is crazy. This is a passing play, right? Look where he is from the 30. And you drove this dude all the way to the other 40. That's bananas, bro. Bro, this dude, man, you killing him, man. Just hemming him up, man. Oh, my goodness. One thing I say, too, you have very agile feet in the pass blocking. Usually in high school, you see guys have one or the other, right? They typically are very strong in the run game and not so much in the pass game or vice versa. I have to say you're very evenly balanced in this. Now, let's talk about this pass off right here. Okay, I see initially you take an inside step. Walk us through that part right there. How does that work?
So some of our plays, I'll kind of hinge the back, but I make sure that I keep B gap clear. So I'm working kind of B to C. So if there's nothing B, then I'll come back C. So I always, even if there's no one there, I always step to make sure no one's stunning in. Or if there is someone there, someone's supposed to take that guy, I give him a hand. So I always step B and then work back C. So I'll kind of hinge it back and then take care of him.
Yeah, they call it a hinge block, especially when you do rollout plays or half roll plays. You guys, they'll hinge it. Like you said, you want to close it down because the quarterback is running away from that last guy out there. You know, he got to be a football player too. You want to secure what? Old geometry. What's the shortest point? Shortest distance between 2 points.
Just straight back and forth.
Straight line. So a straight line is the shortest point between 2 points, is the shortest distance between 2 points, straight line. So you always want to kill off the inside guy. Great job there, man. Let's look through this a little bit. It's a big old dude, bro. Now, what do you call that technique, the one-hand run? Because I see it a lot, and I don't want to misquote it. What do you guys call this technique that you're using right here?
We don't know. That's honestly not even a technique. That's just something I do. That was just me trying to stay square and keep him inside of me.
Yeah. Well, what they do is they call it, some people call it long arm or long arm, where you just run a guy down and you just basically shielding him off. But that's a great job by you, man. Dude, he'll kill poor little Timmy, man.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little mad at guys.
Yeah. Do you get holding calls at all?
I've had a few. It's not a crazy amount. I typically have my hands inside.
Oh, hold on. I think my earphones went out. Hold on.
I can't hear you. I think your mic went out too.
All right, we back rolling. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Got you, man. Perfect. We were rolling right along. Okay, so sorry about that. All right, so I forgot what I was saying right here at the end.
We were talking about long arm, and then we were talking about. Was it long arm? That was the last thing we were talking about.
I don't know. We're talking about you kicking these dudes' butts out here. That's all I know. Let's go through a couple of more of these, and then we'll pull this off, man. I just want the guys to see. Again, great job right there. Like I say, recognizing how to come off, getting down the line. Great pickup. I remember talking about this in the film. This shows, and what I like about this, holding penalties. Man, look at, hey, thank you, Haitian Ellen. Appreciate you. We're talking about holding penalties. But I'm going to go back there. Let me ask you about holding penalties. Holding penalties. Do you get a lot of holding penalties?
Not really. No, like I was saying, I usually keep my hands inside. I never really get them outside enough to where I get a holding call. They usually kind of give me a warning to be like, hey, get your hands inside, or hey, tone it down a little bit before they really call anything. So
I got you, man. So yeah, that's exactly right. I just wanted to see, because when big guys like that, sometimes, man, these refs, they like to just throw the flag because you killing Timmy out there, man. So they don't have a choice. But no, that's good, because I notice sometimes you do initially on the contact, you have your hand outside and then you'll replace it and bring it back inside. So that's great, man. But I want to talk about this play right here. I thought this was great. A lot of guys know in their mind, I have to step down with him and come off and pick up 23. But their feet don't do that, right? And you do a great job. And I think this is where your Taekwondo comes in and those type of things from the agility standpoint. Think about it, you're a 6'5", 315-pound guy, and the way you move was smooth right here. I thought it was great. Block down. Some people get stuck. Boom, you come off and give him the business over there, man. That's perfect. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm on the inch line or the 1 yard line like this, I'm running behind 72. I ain't going away. I'm going your way, man. But coach decided to go the other way, but you blocked your own guy right there, huh?
Mm-hmm. I blocked
everybody can get it.
I blocked their guy, my own guy. You know?
Great. We'll go with one more clip here, and we'll get back to this thing, man. Great job, man. This is awesome. Look at this cat, man. That's a collarbone broken right there. I'm done with it. I don't want to see any more of that, man. I can't take any more. You guys could definitely check those out. I'll put a description up there. It'll be in the description. I'll put a card over our head. Or if you'd like to check it out as well, you just type in Addison Nichols and Hayes. It'll come up, or search it on the channel and so forth. But what I want to say here at the end, man, like I said, it's a great job. Talk briefly a little bit more Tennessee, and we're going to get out of here. What is how do I phrase this? What do you think your projection and playing time will be? Have they talked to you about that? Because I know guys like to play so early and this, that, and the other. Have they talked to you about that? And also, what position would you be playing?
So they're recruiting me for tackle, and my playing time depends on how badly I want it. I know I'm going to go in there and work for it. If I outwork the guy, then I'll play all 4 years. If he's just a really solid guy like K Mays, might have to wait a year. But I know personally, I'm gonna go in there and work my tail off to get that starting spot. I don't want a coach that sits there and promises me like, "Hey, you're gonna get playing time freshman year. You're gonna start, blah blah blah." And Coach Ellerby doesn't do that. He's like, "If you want it, you got to come get it." And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna want it and I'm gonna get it.
I love it, man. I like to do a thing here as I finish out. I call it one word answer, right? So I'm gonna ask you a quick question. I just want the first thing pops in your mind, one word, no explanation, whatever the first thing pops in your mind. You down to play this game?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. You ready? Who is the most influential person in your life?
Oh, my dad.
Dad, love it. The second question: who is the best player that you've ever faced?
Can't remember his name, but he's at North Carolina right now. It was the defensive end from Hart County, my sophomore year in the playoffs. He's at UNC right now. Kid was in.
All right. So what made him tough? What was it that made him tough?
Just the way he studied me. I had actually talked after the game, a few weeks after at a All-American type deal game. I talked to someone that was on his team, and they were saying that he'll sit there and watch 2 to 3 hours of film just on you, not even the whole line or the team, just on you, the guy that he's going to be going against. And he said he'd be talking to I can't remember his name, but he said he watched like 3 hours of film on me, and I had actually just broken my hand. I had broken my middle metacarpal on my left hand, and everything he did to me targeted me to where I had to use my left hand to block him. So I wasn't able to. I had a club, so I couldn't grab him. So he would get rid of my right hand and make me block him with my left hand. So I really had to use my hips and feet to block him. And he was just super fast and strong too, like incredibly strong, and got off the ball super fast. So he was incredibly good.
That's great, man. That's a great story too. And it goes to show you that if guys are serious, they'll put in the work, man. All right. Here's the next thing. If there was no football, what would you be doing?
Oh God.
Playing the ukulele.
I don't even know. I've never thought about that. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I guess just doing school, or can I say another sport? Like other sports? Sure. I can't see my life without sports, man.
Like what? What sport would it be? Basketball, golf, what?
Golf or track.
All right. Okay. Also, let me ask you this: you're into music and everything like that. Your coach. What's your head coach's name?
Tim Hardy.
Tim Hardy. Okay. Coach comes in with this great. We're gonna kick their behind speech and gives you a moment to go get yourself together. What's playing on the headphones right now?
Well, it kind of depends on the mood of the day. Like
right now, if I had to press play on your phone or whatever you have right now, what's playing?
Right now, I'm probably playing some Morgan Wallen. If we're talking about right now,
playing what?
Morgan Wallen.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Real quick, in that song, is there a line or a verse or something in that song that just like something that he says that just make you get ready to go? Like, what is it?
No, not Morgan Wallen. I usually kind of have something like that where I'll get fired up and like some rap song I listen to. Morgan Wallen just kind of like gets me like in the mood, just kind of like gets me in the zone. Because Morgan Wallen, he's country, so he kind of just gets me ready, and then I'll take my headphones out, and then we'll play in the locker room. We'll have like the rap and stuff like that, and then that's when I get fired up. So
I love it. I love it. And my last question to you, man, because I know you younger guys, y'all always on your phones and you're always doing this, and you guys always on YouTube, man. What's your number one YouTube channel out there?
I gotta go with yours. Come on now.
There you go, baby. I thought you were gonna blow it. The check is in the mail, Addison. I appreciate you, man. What channel is that?
Coach Hayes Football.
That's my man right there. Man, listen, Addison, thank you so much, man, for taking time out. I know you just got out of practice, man. You're probably tired. I'm not sure if you guys started school yet or not, but you got to get other things done. So I do want to just say thank you again to you, your family. Tell your dad hello and your family. I saw some of the pictures you took on the photo shoot day, like all your family and everybody's there. So you got a great support system. That's awesome. I definitely gonna be following your career. I got some players up there. We already told you got to protect my man now. Got to protect my QB, man. All right, so I'll be at some games. I know you won't necessarily be there because you'll be playing, but I'll be at some games coming up when you're a freshman and all of that kind of stuff. And hopefully we see each other, man. We'll say hello. But other than that, Addison, like I say, I have to say this real quick before you get out here. Let people know where they can find you for your Instagram. Let people know where they can find you on your Instagram.
At Addison_Nichols_ and Twitter. Yep, at AHNichols22.
All right, perfect, man. So again, like I said, thank you so much. I appreciate it to everybody out there in Vol land. I don't even know if that's a phrase, but in Vol land. Let me get a hashtag Go Vols. Thank you guys so much. If you want to catch me, you can catch me on Instagram and Facebook at Coach Hayes Football. On Twitter, it is Coach Hayes FB. And other than that, also check out the website, CoachHayesFootball.com. It is being revamped right now. Just go in there, sign the mailing list. You can sign up on the mailing list right now. So once it becomes back up and open and running full-fledged, I'll hit you with an email blast and you'll definitely get a chance to see that and everything else. So Addison, again, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And with all that being said, I guess we out of here, man. I'm gonna let you take it away. Go what?
Go Vols, man. Hey, all you Vol fans out there, load the comments with them oranges. All right. I want some GBOs and I want some oranges. Blow it up. All
right, man. I love it, man. A special shout out to our sponsor, man, GetRightFragrance.com. Guys, go check them out on Instagram. The same thing, as well as their website, man. Have a nice cologne. It smells great. You might have to get you some Addison after those games. You go out, hang out. They still got a copper thing there. I forgot what it's called, a copper barrel or something there. It's some kind of restaurant. It was called Copper something. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, you guys go hang out. Appreciate it. We out of here. Thank you so much. See ya.